If you're tired of working every single month and still wondering where all your money disappears, then pay close attention. Because the problem isn't that you don't earn enough. The real problem is that nobody ever taught you what to do with your money the moment it hits your account. Welcome to the Finance Owl, where we don't sell motivation or fake hype. We build systems that actually work. Here's a truth most people avoid. The average person has no idea where their money goes after payday. They know rent somehow gets paid. Food appears in the kitchen. Subscriptions renew automatically. But beyond that, everything is a blur. Most people are financial sleepwalkers. They earn, spend, repeat, and then act shocked when their bank balance is empty again. Month after month, year after year, and eventually, decade after decade. Your paycheck is not a reward. It's not a surprise gift. It's not permission to spend. Your paycheck is your future freedom, broken into monthly pieces. And every single dollar can either build your future or quietly destroy it. Most people treat money backwards. They get paid, pay bills, spend on whatever feels good, and then try to save whatever is left. But there's never anything left. That's like trying to save water in a bucket with a hole at the bottom and wondering why you're still thirsty. People who build wealth don't rely on motivation. They don't rely on discipline. They rely on systems. And that system starts immediately when the paycheck arrives. The first step is knowing exactly where your money goes. Not guessing, not estimating, knowing. You must separate true necessities from wants. True necessities are simple: housing, basic food, transportation required to earn income, utilities, healthcare, essential insurance. That's it. Notice what's not on that list: expensive cars, daily coffee, food delivery, subscriptions, gym memberships you never use. Most people lie to themselves here. They call luxuries needs because it feels better emotionally. A big car payment becomes reliable transportation. Eating out becomes being too busy to cook. Entertainment becomes mental health. Here's the reality. If more than 60% of your take-home pay goes to true necessities, then either you're living in a place that's too expensive for your income, or you're calling wants necessities to avoid changing your lifestyle. Let's look at a real example. Someone earns $75,000 a year. After taxes, they take home about $4,750 per month. Their rent is $1,800. Their car payment is $400. Groceries cost $500. That's $2,700 in necessities, about 57% of take-home pay. That's reasonable. Yet many people in this situation still feel broke, not because necessities are too high, but because small spending leaks quietly drain everything else. Coffee, food delivery, impulse shopping, subscriptions. Individually, they seem harmless. Together, they steal your future. You cannot fix what you refuse to measure. The second step is protecting your financial reputation before saving, before investing, before dreaming. You must protect your credit. This isn't about loving debt. It's about avoiding damage. Your credit score affects interest rates, housing approval, loan access, and sometimes even job opportunities. Here's what most people don't realize. One missed payment can undo years of good behavior. In school, 97% is an A+. In credit scoring, 97% on-time payments can label you high risk. The system is unforgiving, but the rule is simple. Make minimum payments on time every time. You don't need to eliminate all debt immediately. You just need to stay current. This is the foundation. Nothing grows on cracked ground. Now let's talk about something boring and life-changing: an emergency fund. Not an investment, not crypto, not a side hustle fund. Cash, liquid, accessible. Life will hit you. That's not a possibility. That's a guarantee. Your car will break. Your phone will die. Your job might disappear. Your health may surprise you. Without an emergency fund, every inconvenience becomes a crisis. The goal is 3 to 6 months of necessities saved. If your necessities cost $2,700 per month, Your emergency fund should be between $8,000 and $16,000. That sounds impossible to many people until they realize this is built slowly, paycheck by paycheck. Here's the part nobody talks about. Emergency funds don't just protect your money. They protect your mind. You sleep better. You negotiate harder. You stop making desperate decisions. That's real power. Your emergency fund should be boring, safe, accessible, not invested, not locked away. A simple, high-yield savings account is enough. You're not trying to grow this money. You're trying to survive chaos without debt. Once this fund exists, you move out of survival mode, and that's when real wealth building begins. Now that you've handled necessities, protected your credit, and built an emergency fund, you've officially stepped out of survival mode. This is where most people never arrive, and this is where real wealth actually starts. Step 4 is investing for your future self, not for excitement, not for bragging rights, for freedom. If your employer offers a retirement plan with a matching contribution, this becomes your #1 investing priority. No debate, no delay. Employer matching is free money. And somehow, millions of people ignore it. Let's make this simple. If your company matches 3% of your salary and you earn $60,000 a year, that means if you invest $1,800, your employer gives you another $1,800. Instantly, you just doubled your money. There is no legal investment that guarantees a 100% return on day one, except employer matching. Yet people walk away from it every single year because they think retirement is too far away. Here's the truth. Retirement isn't far away. Time moves fast, and compound interest only works if you give it time. Beyond the employer match, your long-term goal should be investing around 10% of your gross income for retirement. That might sound aggressive if you're just starting, but remember, this is not about how much you invest. It's about how long your money works. Here's something most people never fully understand. Time is more powerful than effort when it comes to investing. If someone invests $300 a month, starting at age 25, and earns an average return of 8%, they'll end up with roughly $1 million by retirement. If that same person waits until age 35 and invests the same amount, they'll have less than half of that. That 10-year delay costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, not because they invested less, but because they lost time. Waiting is expensive. This is why overthinking investing is dangerous. People read articles, watch videos, analyze charts, and never start. You don't need to pick individual stocks. You don't need to time the market. You don't need to be smarter than professionals. For most people, a simple diversified index fund is more than enough. Consistency beats complexity every single time. Once your retirement investing is automated, the next step is attacking non-mortgage debt. This is where emotion enters the picture. Debt is rarely just numbers. It's guilt, stress, regret, sometimes shame. And that's why strategy matters. There are 2 proven methods to eliminate debt. The first is the avalanche method. You focus on the debt with the highest interest rate first. This saves the most money mathematically. The second is the snowball method. You focus on the smallest balance first, regardless of interest. This builds momentum. Mathematically, avalanche wins. Psychologically, snowball often wins. And psychology matters more than math if it keeps you consistent. The best strategy is the one you can stick with. Pick one, commit to it, and don't jump back and forth. Every debt you eliminate frees up cash flow, and cash flow is power. Once high-interest debt is under control, you can start expanding your investment strategy. This is where accounts like Roth retirement accounts become powerful. With a Roth, you invest money you've already paid taxes on. In exchange, all future growth is tax-free. That means decades of compounding without sharing profits later. It's one of the most powerful tools available to average earners. For investments outside retirement accounts, taxes matter. Holding investments longer than 1 year qualifies you for lower long-term capital gains taxes. Selling too quickly costs you more. Wealth is not built by constant buying and selling. It's built by patience. Now we arrive at the most important step of all. the step that separates people who build wealth from people who only talk about it. Automation. Willpower is unreliable. Motivation fades, life gets busy, stress builds, and when that happens, financial discipline disappears. Automation removes emotion from money. When your paycheck hits, money should move automatically according to your plan. Savings, investments, debt payments, all without you touching anything. Here's a simple system you can copy. Your paycheck arrives in your checking account. You let it sit for 1 day to ensure everything clears. Then automatic transfers trigger. A fixed amount moves to savings. Another amount moves to investments. If you're building an emergency fund, it gets funded automatically. If you're self-employed, money moves to a tax account. Whatever your goals are, they happen without effort. You don't decide each month. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't rely on discipline. The system runs whether you feel motivated or exhausted. That's how progress becomes inevitable. But here's where people mess this up. They automate once and never update. They get a raise but don't increase savings. They pay off a debt but don't redirect that money. They change income but keep the same plan. Automation only works if you adjust it as your life changes. Every raise should increase your savings rate. Every paid-off debt should become an investment. Every improvement should strengthen the system. This is how wealth quietly grows, while others wonder what they're doing wrong. This paycheck routine isn't exciting. It won't make you viral. It won't impress strangers, but it works. Treat your paycheck like the wealth-building tool it is. Give every dollar a job, automate the process, review it regularly. Do this for 5 years, and your financial life will look completely different. Not because you got lucky, but because you followed a system. This is the Finance Owl. Build systems, stay consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting.